Welcome to UK Pathway Hub, your trusted guide to everything about UK immigration and visas. Here, we break down and compare different visa types, immigration routes, and requirements so you can make informed decisions about your journey to the UK. If you find our videos helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share with others, and leave your valuable comments below to stay connected and updated with the latest immigration insights. The big question. Imagine living in a country where proving your identity isn't just about showing a passport at the airport or flashing your driving license at a pub. Instead, everything you do, getting a job, renting a flat, opening a bank account, or even visiting your doctor, could be tied to a single digital identity card. Sounds like science fiction, right? But this isn't a scene from a futuristic novel. It's a real idea being weighed up by the UK government today. Officials say it could be a game changer in the fight against illegal migration, one of the most divisive and politically charged issues facing the country. Some see it as a logical solution to restore control and order, while others warn it could open the door to constant surveillance and the erosion of basic freedoms. So, is this the future of Britain, or a step too far? The current problem, why this debate exists. Illegal migration has long been a thorny subject in British politics. Thousands of people enter the country each year without permission, while others overstay visas or live under the radar for years. This places huge pressure on housing, schools, healthcare, and the job market. Successive governments have promised to fix the system but struggled to deliver results. The issue isn't just about numbers. It's about control and credibility. Many voters believe the government has lost grip on the border, leading to rising frustration. With media headlines dominated by small boat crossings in the Channel and overcrowded asylum centers, the pressure to act is higher than ever. That's where the idea of a digital ID comes in. Ministers claim it could close loopholes, stop undocumented migrants from finding work, and restore public confidence. But will it really solve the problem, or just create new ones? What exactly is the digital ID proposal? At its core, a digital ID would be a unique identity system for every legal resident in the UK. Instead of juggling multiple documents like passports, national insurance numbers, and utility bills, each person would have one secure, digital profile. This ID could be linked to key services, applying for jobs, renting property, accessing benefits, or even proving age. Supporters argue it would streamline bureaucracy, making life easier for citizens while simultaneously making it harder for illegal migrants to operate undetected. If someone can't provide a verified digital ID, employers, landlords, and service providers would simply turn them away. The government says this would cut off opportunities for illegal migration at the source. But critics warn that it's not just migrants who'd be affected. Everyone in the UK would need to adapt to a completely new system, whether they like it or not. Why? The government wants it. For ministers, the appeal of a digital ID is simple: control. They argue that illegal migration isn't just a border issue. It thrives because people can disappear into society once they arrive. By making proof of identity the key to everyday life, the government believes it could shut down the shadow economy where undocumented workers find jobs and housing. Supporters say it would also protect vulnerable migrants from being exploited by ruthless employers or landlords. In theory, it creates a safer, fairer environment for everyone. The government also points to international examples, like Estonia's digital ID system, that show how such schemes can make public services more efficient and secure. But let's be honest. Behind all the promises of modernization, the real driving force is political. Leaders need a bold solution to show they're serious about migration, especially with elections looming and public patience wearing thin. The promised benefits. Advocates for digital ID highlight several potential advantages. First, it could simplify life for ordinary citizens by replacing a jumble of documents with one universal proof of identity. Imagine applying for a job or a flat with just one click. Second, it could finally give authorities a clear picture of who is in the country legally and who isn't, something that has eluded them for decades. Third, it would put pressure on rogue employers who knowingly hire undocumented workers, closing a major loophole in the system. And fourth, it could help ensure public resources like housing and healthcare are reserved for those legally entitled to them. In theory, that sounds like a win-win. Easier for citizens, tougher on illegal migration. But the question remains, will these benefits outweigh the risks? Because once such a system exists, it doesn't just stop at migration. The concerns and red flags. Civil liberties groups are already sounding the alarm. They warn that a digital ID scheme could usher in a surveillance state where the government has unprecedented control over people's lives. Imagine every job application, rental agreement, and doctor's visit leaving a digital trail. Who owns that data? Who controls it? And could it be misused? Critics fear a future where ordinary citizens are constantly monitored and judged based on their digital footprint. There's also the issue of discrimination. Would employers or landlords unfairly target people who struggle to provide an ID, even if they're legal residents? Then there are security risks. Data breaches happen all the time, and if a centralized system were hacked, millions could be exposed. For many, the biggest fear isn't illegal migrants gaming the system, it's the government overreaching into the private lives of its own citizens. Political reactions and public opinion. Unsurprisingly, the idea of a digital ID has sparked sharp political debate. The government frames it as a common-sense solution to a crisis that can no longer be ignored. But opposition parties and activist groups argue it's little more than a distraction, an expensive, risky policy that could do more harm than good. Some point out that the UK has flirted with ID card schemes before, only to abandon them due to public backlash. That history matters, because the British public has long valued privacy and personal freedom. Polls show a split. Some citizens welcome tougher measures to control migration, while others fear the loss of liberty. For politicians, this isn't just about policy, it's about image. Whoever controls the migration narrative often controls the wider political conversation, and digital IDs have become the latest battleground in that fight. What happens next? Right now, the digital ID plan is still in its early stages. The government has floated the idea, but no legislation has been passed. There may be pilot schemes, consultations, and heated parliamentary debates before anything concrete happens. And let's not forget, Britain has tried and failed to introduce ID systems before, with schemes scrapped due to cost, complexity, and public outrage. Could this time be different? Perhaps. The rise of digital technology and heightened concern about migration might push it further than before. But the obstacles are huge, both technical and political. Even if a digital ID were launched, it would take years to roll out nationwide. By then, the political landscape could look very different, and the urgency around migration might have shifted. The question isn't just whether it will happen, but whether it will last. Bigger picture, what's at stake? The digital ID debate isn't just about migration, it's about the future of identity itself. Once a government builds a system capable of tracking and verifying every citizen's life, it rarely stops there. It could expand to policing, taxation, or even social services in ways we can't yet imagine. Supporters argue that this is simply the direction the world is heading, with countries modernizing and digitizing every aspect of governance. Critics counter that Britain risks trading freedom for convenience, with ordinary people paying the price for a migration crisis they didn't create. The choice the UK faces is profound. Do we accept more control for the sake of security, or do we resist, even if it means leaving some problems unsolved? One path leads to tighter order, the other to greater liberty, but rarely do both travel together. Conclusion. The final thought. So, where does this leave us? On one hand, the digital ID scheme could be the bold reset the UK needs to get control of its borders and restore faith in the system. On the other, it could be the first step toward a society where privacy is sacrificed for political gain. History shows that once governments gain new powers, they rarely give them back. The real question is, do the British people trust their leaders enough to hand over this level of control? Because make no mistake, this debate isn't just about migrants. It's about every single person living in the UK and how much of their personal freedom They're willing to trade for a sense of security. So, what do you think? Is a digital ID the future we need, or a step too far down a dangerous road? Thanks for watching UK Pathway Hub. We hope this video gave you clear insights into UK immigration and visa options. If you found it useful, make sure you like, share, and comment below with your thoughts or questions. We always value your feedback. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our latest updates and comparisons on the UK immigration system. Your pathway to the UK starts here, and we're with you every step of the way.